What's the worst movie you've seen from start to finish?
The live-action Woody the Woodpecker movie. Yes, it exists, and it's on Netflix. Hellraiser 4. Then 5. Then 6, 7, 8. Then after 9, I had a renewed appreciation for 4 through 7. I refuse to watch the new one. The worst part is, I've seen them all more than once. Bono's Hands of Fate. I was told the MST3K version was going to be funny. Movie caused me physical pain. Ballistic, X vs. Sever.
The best thing I can say about this movie is that I completely forgot it even existed until this very moment.
Even the title is terrible.
This past weekend, my son had his birthday, and he wanted to go to a scary movie with his friends. The only movie that looked remotely scary was Gretel and Hansel. Was not scary. Was bad. Was opening night, and a grand total of about 12 people were in the theater. Was so boring, at least a quarter left before it was half over. There's a plot twist near the end. For most movies, you think, wow, I didn't see that coming, or I totally saw that coming. In this movie, you just think, well, that happened. Landed like a dead salmon tossed on wet concrete. It was awful. It's called The Horse Dancer. It's about a gymnast who for some reason goes to a horse camp. It's basically an advertisement for a real riding camp and features some of the worst dialogue and acting I have ever seen in my life. One scene that stands out is the head counselor absolutely losing her shirt because someone did something that put the camp at risk. Total overacting. 10 out of 10 entertainment.
Subscribe to Karma Farm.
The latest Sherlock Holmes film, with Will Ferrell. The movie started with about 20 people, but I was the only one who stuck around long enough to see the end credits.
When I saw this in theaters as well, when it was over, some guy behind me said to his buddies, "Well, that's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back."
I know it's a meme at this point, but Dragon Ball Evolution is genuinely ducking awful. Even if you aren't a fan of the anime or manga, which, full disclosure, I grew up with and love, it's just hot garbage. I only sat through the entirety of it because my friend asked me to watch it with him. I don't think I'll ever fully understand Hollywood and their reasoning for drastically changing a piece of media from its source material. At the end of the day, it only had surface-level similarities. It's like, why even call it by its original title then? To pull in the original fans. They are gonna hate it the moment the trailer drops. I just don't get it. Skyline. 90% of the movie is just them cowering in a high-rise apartment.
The end credits are far better than the movie.
The third Jeepers Creepers, say what you want about the first and second. I see those as classic with a hint of dark comedy. But the third, trash. Battlefield Earth. I was taking a minibus from Christchurch to Dunedin, and there was a TV at the front, and a selection of DVDs including Battlefield Earth. The driver asked the passengers which one we should watch. And I said not Battlefield Earth, it's supposed to be terrible. He thought it would be so bad it's good. So he put it on. God, it was dire. When it was my stop, and he went to get my luggage, he actually apologized and said he should have listened. That animated movie, Alpha and Omega. Such a mess. I'm not allowed to choose the movie anymore with my family. Food Fight My Dudes. Easily the ugliest thing ever created. Also, clearly aimed at children. But so many bad sexual puns. Fantastic Four 2015. Legitimately went, that's it. At the end, 95% of the movie is boring uninterested dialogue. 5% boss fight. The Last Airbender. I was a big fan of the show, so when the movie came out I convinced my friends to go and see it. They were skeptical at first, but I was sure they would like it. It was the Avatar after all. And then it started, and it was absolute shirt. I never cringed so hard in my entire life. Every time I thought it can't get any worse, the movie proved me otherwise. Worst of all, it wasn't even funny bad. It was incredibly boring and cringy, and it just kept on going. I still feel bad that I made them watch it.
Tall girl.
Size 13 Nikes.
Transformers: The Last Night. The only reason I did walk out was because my brother was there. I later found out that he wanted to leave too, but the only reason he did was because I was there. It was horrific. Left Behind, 2014 with Nick Cage. I watched the whole thing hoping it would get better. It did not. The Swimmer, 1968. It's a full-length movie based on a short story. It's about a dude who walks through the woods into his friends' backyards, talks to them for a bit, then swims across their pool, and goes to the next house. My dad keeps it recorded on our TV as a way to get guests to leave our house. Birdemic. The acting. The CGI. There are no words. The Name of the King, I figure it stars Jason Statham. I'm a sucker for his movies, plus a bunch of other big names. Burt Reynolds, Ray Liotta, Ron Perlman, etc. How bad can it be? I figure it would be a cookie-cutter medieval movie with some badass Statham head kicks. OMG, it's so bad. Like, so bad. The Circle. The one with Tom Hanks and Emma Watson. I know it just came out, but honestly, cats. It's just bad. I went with friends to laugh at how bad it was, and it was a fun time for 30 minutes. After that, it was just hard to sit through. Aragon.
That movie was so bad that it made me wish I had never enjoyed the books, so that I wouldn't have thought seeing the movie was a good idea.
Emoji Movie. And before you ask, my brother's wife downloaded it for a weekend trip without service. The most recent Mummy movie. I was high as duck with my brother and his roommate when we watched it, and it was the biggest heap of garbage. Some people left in the middle of it. We were laughing at super unrealistic scenes. It's a joke of a movie. It's very, very awful. Star Wars Holiday Special. God, was that awful? 90% of the movie is in Wookiee, without subtitles. Son of the Mask, without doubt. Even any Asylum film is better, in the sense that those are at least entertainingly bad. I watched all the Sharknado movies. I hate myself. Jupiter Ascending. It was so bad. I wanted to walk out so many times, but the ticket was like $12. So I thought, duck it. Maybe it'll get better. It didn't. 10,000 BC. Only watch it if you have a fetish for girls with filthy dreadlocks, and you slept in all history lessons. Netflix adaptation of Death Note. No joke. I could literally go 3 hours straight talking how absolutely trash that awful crappy bullshittery, made only to torture everyone who is unfortunate enough to lay there soon to be burned, from the sheer cringe and discomfort. Eyes of a movie it was. I didn't think I could feel such disgust before I saw that god-awful film. Never meant to be seen by man. And I still wake up at night screaming in horror, because of that embarrassment to the whole human race. After I saw that, I drank 10 liters of bleach in the hopes of dying. But the ghost of that horrific shirt crap kept haunting me. And I don't think I'll ever get over that absolute monstrosity. After Earth, starring Will and Jaden Smith, was 2 hours of watching Jaden not listen to his father in a life or death situation, and whining and crying when not following said instructions almost killed him. I think I was mostly disappointed because of the hype I'd seen about the movie. Promos and behind-the-scenes interviews prior to the movie's release discussed some deep lore. That got me really excited, but I never saw it reflect in the story's plot or any footage. Apparently, everyone was about the same skin color, because a few hundred years into the future, everyone is supposed to be the same skin tone, because of globalization and ease of access to interracial relationships. And a linguist was supposedly hired for this movie, to create an accent that carefully combined a majority of the accents of the world, if they were all merged into one nation. Must not have been a particularly good linguist, because Will and Jaden ended up sounding like two people who were bad at impersonating Victorian English. Then they would hop in and out of using it. So at times, they just basically spoke a present-day American accent, almost like the director just went, "You know what? The accent is dumb, and we have 2 more hours on set today, and 3 more scenes to shoot. Just talk like normal people." It was just such a bummer. because I really like Karate Kid. Jaden did a fantastic job despite being so young. And I really like Will Smith. The movie just was very good. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to Karma Farm to get more videos just like this.